Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Indie.XSplit Showcase. We're here at PAX East. We're in the last few hours of PAX East now. At this stage, it's coming to a close, but we still got some awesome games because we've got Colin here, and we're going to be talking about Knee Deep.
Indeed.
And I've heard good things.
I hope so.
Yeah, I've heard bad things.
Well, we're here to fix that, set the record straight.
Because people are trashing this game.
No,
I have heard some good things. Yeah, please tell people what the game's about, man.
Yeah, so Knee Deep is a swamp noir adventure set in a theater. So it's a murder mystery, takes place in a fictional Florida tourist trap. Some Hollywood actor past his prime is found hanging from the water tower, and you got to figure out what happened. It all takes place in the theatrical environment, though, so you're actually moving between sets, delivering lines of dialogue, and trying to unfold the mystery of what happened.
Awesome. I mean, as a setup for a game, that's a pretty cool one.
Yeah, when that tagline came together, like, ooh, that's the one, that's the one we got right there.
It's like swamp noir mystery. That's awesome. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, some of the good stuff from film noir, you always have a suspicious death in the beginning, and flawed protagonists, shady characters, lots of conspiracies, and then you put that in kind of a grungy Florida tourist trap instead of slick LA or New York, and it's just a recipe for disaster.
So is your inspirations more filmic than they were video games, or is it like a big combo of the both?
It's a mix. Our writer-designer, Wes Platt, he came from Florida. He was born and raised in Orlando. He was a writer at the St. Petersburg Times for a while, so he was steeped in the Florida weird. He had this script going for a long time of what would happen with a sleepy town that was kind of on the decline, getting shaken up by a big high-profile suicide.
Nice. Yeah. Sounds good, man. Let's take a look at the game.
Absolutely. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump into episode 1. We do have 3 episodes. They're all out on Steam now, but no spoilers here.
Oh, no.
It starts with a dead guy.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Cut the stream.
Yeah, forget it. Spoilers.
Right. So yeah, we wanted to set you right up at the beginning in the theater environment because it felt like it gave you the freedom to just embody the character instead of trying to figure out how to beat this game. You're just performing. So there's never any dead ends. You're never going to see a game over screen.
Because the game's gonna keep going and react with whatever you happen to do.
Exactly.
Nice.
If we provide you an option that looks interesting, even though it might seem like it's going to have negative consequences, you can still choose it.
You can still do it.
And you might have negative consequences.
Yeah, it might still suck, but you don't know.
Right. Yeah, just lots of regrets.
Yeah.
That's good. And yeah, you won't be able to see it here, but we also have a full voice cast. So there's 35 different actors in this game. And we start right off with the dead guy.
Oh no.
So Tad Kern, long and illustrious career, and he decides to take it all in Florida.
Huh. Poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy.
But again, it's a play, so we don't have to feel so bad.
Not too bad, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, there's going to be lots of good revelations. You figure out whether he deserved it or not.
Exactly.
Chief roadsides, if you've ever been up and down the East Coast, especially on I-95, there's lots of terrible tourist traps. Usually they're very offensive to some type of ethnicity.
Brilliant.
This one is Native Americans, cheap roadsides, big cheap roadside.
Roadside.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
So we see our first example here of going back and forth between different sets in a theater environment. Allows us to kind of change place and time a little bit more smoothly. We don't have to walk you through an actual environment over to the freeway. We are just here.
There's people tweeting in.
Yeah, jumping into our first main protagonist, Romana Teague. There's 3 different characters that you take control of. So we start off with a blogger here. She's come because it's a great Hollywood scandal, some actor committing suicide. There's also the local town reporter and a private investigator hired by the studio to file the insurance report. All of them have different perspectives on what happened, and you'll have interweaving scenes. We'll play a couple scenes.
Bruce. That's that name.
That's
nice.
a good editor name, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So each of them will do a couple scenes, and then you'll start to piece together all the facts as the story comes together. Since you are a reporter, one of the fun mechanics is that you actually file reports. You're going to be gathering clues and sources. You have to figure out how you want to report on those. The editor is going to be hounding you to drive traffic, so you go inflammatory. May not be true all the time.
But it drives the traffic.
Exactly, right? That's this show business. So you can kind of preview, do I want to really make a big deal out of this?
Edgy.
In the middle of the road.
I'm alluding to things.
Cautious. Right.
Yeah, nice.
Not going to come out and say
Yeah.
But
I'm heavily implying.
Right.
Yeah.
But since you can't lose, I like going inflammatory every time.
Oh, really?
Pretty much.
I'd go edgy. It's probably my sort of safe space. well, you know, heavily implying things, but not really saying anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to say that you're not polite.
Right?
Yeah, so as you file these reports, it'll affect both your standing with your boss as well as people in town. So, of course, at one point you talk to the ex-girlfriend, you find out they have troubles in bed. Do you want to air that dirty laundry?
Yeah.
It's juicy, but it's going to have consequences.
Yeah.
So Romana, she's completely overwhelmed, and then we're going to fast forward 2 days in the future. We're suddenly in this interrogation room. People are questioning us. Something terrible went wrong. We're not really sure what.
Yeah.
Again, the benefit of being able to jump back and forth between different places in a theater design here. The long walk in the spotlight.
So, is there like an audience in any way? Is that is that part of the game?
A little bit. Since you are kind of the audience and kind of the actor, we have some general ambient. In stage transitions, you'll hear kind of murmur in the background.
Okay.
There's always that guy who's coughing in the back.
Yeah.
And there's a few reactions, but we wanted to keep it a little more sparse so that you as a player could provide those reactions. So coming up here, we're going to have first of our critical decisions. Every conversation has the ability to be shaped and molded in one way or another, but then you're going to have some critical choices that reflect through all 3 episodes. Most of the time, you're not going to have enough information to make a good decision, and that's kind of on purpose. We want you to say, oh, I have no idea what's going on here. I'm just going to pick something that looks interesting and see how it plays out. So in this case, we're going to find out that Romana got fired, and you have to decide, why did she get fired?
Huh. So is this kind of the core gameplay as you go through it, sort of conversation and decisions and choices?
Yeah, it's very conversation driven, so kind of like the Telltale games in that regard.
Yeah.
We took a lot of inspiration from them, from Kentucky Route Zero. We like how you can... Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I just want to finish it now.
It's really good. Yeah.
That was another discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we wanted you to have not quite a blank slate of how you form this character, but almost like a Rorschach blob. So there's contours that you can latch onto, and based on your personal experiences and how you play these characters, that's going to feel like a very different personality in the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, here's one of our critical decisions. So why'd you get sacked? What do you think?
Had to compare made a mistake or compromised ethics. I go with made a mistake.
Okay.
And is that kind of like a I've made that decision? Like that is why she got fired?
You locked in.
Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I mean there's save games, but we actually intentionally kept the save checkpoints kind of away from view so that you don't say like, oh, I didn't like that conversation. Let me try it again.
Do you know, I always, and it said like critical decision. I always preferred it in Telltale games, so it just wouldn't tell me if like because you used to be able to turn that off. In like I swear the first season of Walking Dead, you could turn off it saying like remembers that. That was the one I didn't like because it was more magical when they come back later and be like, you said that thing, and you'd be like, oh, I did. Yeah. That I love that. But anyway. It's a side note. But yeah.
No, it was an interesting balance. I mean, we were trying to fine-tune how much the players were aware of for the mechanics behind, because you want it to feel organic, like you said.
Well, that's the thing, you want to feel like you're immersed in it at that stage, especially when you're making conversational decisions. That's kind of, you want to feel like you're making conversational decisions.
Exactly, but part of the challenge is sometimes people don't trust that there actually are consequences. And so we went back and forth. We tried to find a balance of maybe not always calling it out up front, but later on say, it's because of your previous choice.
Yes.
So you brought this on yourself.
Yeah.
So here's an example of the set transition. So we move from micro sets into each other. Now the entire stage is going to rotate. The crew for this one, they're hardworking individuals.
Yes, they really are. Man, they put off a pretty... If this was a real stage show, I'd be like, wow, you spent money on the stage
Just
show.
a little bit, right? You spare no expense for the Prologue theater.
You went full Hammond on this situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's one big continuous performance. During this part of the demo, there's just the main character, Romana, but the other 2 characters will come in. Sometimes we'll switch their sets. As the plot goes along, they get forced together, and you find out that each of our 3 protagonists has beef with each other from previous time in their life, and of course, you have to fight that out between each other.
Triple fame.
So
Chief Roadside.
Yeah, it's great. So this is an example of stuff that is actually based on reality, things that stupid people did in Florida. It's a whole game by itself.
Oh wow! So you've brought in, like you said, real life things. Where it's like, yep, that happened.
Exactly. Yeah. So change the name, so there's no issues there.
Stuck in the penny presser on a bet. Wow.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, that seems like a really bad idea.
patently bad.
Never occurred to me as a thing you would even consider doing.
Yeah, I mean, we're from the South. You know, at a certain point, the heat just kind of bakes
Yeah.
your brain, and you go.
You get kind of like, all right, maybe I'll do it. Yeah. Oh, they're giving away a monitor over there. I thought the man was just holding up a box. It's like right out of the corner of my eye. Like,
yes. Throw it this way.
Yeah, I'll have a monitor. I'm cool. XSplit needs monitors.
Yes,
that could be a hashtag going around.
Start the cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So here we're starting to get our first secret informer. There's this guy, Anonymous. He starts giving us clues about what's going on. You know, if you're a fan of old fiction, you know, he's the deep throat character trying to give you leaks and say, oh, wait, not everything is as it seems.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so now we're about to get in trouble based on what you chose. So this is your fault.
This is your fault.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get in trouble.
Spent all day with lawyers thanks to your colossal shitstorm.
Oh, Lenny Spruce. You're not as funny as Lenny Bruce. You're just on my back.
So this is the person that you outed.
Okay.
She's not actually gay. Seemed like a good headline at the time.
Yeah.
It's a bad move.
Deputy directing traffic outside. That's a super credible source.
Exactly.
You should totally cite.
Yeah, double check the spelling of his name and everything.
Yeah. Did the whole thing. So, what is there like any more sort of like puzzle elements or anything like that to the game, or is it all the sort of conversational kind of things?
Its vast majority is conversation.
Yeah.
The news games that you saw a little bit earlier. There are a few mini games here and there, so you have to piece together a QR code or scan for fingerprints, this kind of stuff. They're more a change of pace. None of them are blocking elements. Like we said earlier with the no-fail state, we also didn't want you to get stuck because this is more of an entertainment experience than a puzzle-solving experience. So yeah, it just gives you a little change of pace. You have to hook up the fuses to run power back to the big tower that goes out at some point in the game. Yeah, just a little change of pace.
Yeah, personally, I prefer that as a fan of Telltale games and like Kentucky Route Zero and stuff like that. I kind of like just doing the conversational stuff. I've always enjoyed that. And not very good at puzzles. So
it helps.
when I've been playing these, it was old school adventure games. I used to be so bad at them because I'd be loving the voice acting, the conversations, everything in the story. Then I get the puzzles and just like,
uh-oh, what do I do?
Yeah, like a 10-year-old just being like, I don't know what you do with the rubber chicken. I got no idea. Stuff like that. So
you call the tip line, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fix this now.
Yeah, so you know,
this is a critical choice.
This is a critical choice. This guy, he's you find out later, he's actually used to work for Chief Roadsides, but he just got fired, and so now he's kind of mad because these guys are offensive, and you know. So let's see here. What do you think? Is it kind of cute that this is a really tacky tourist trap?
Chief Roadside. I mean, I guess it's not the best. I'll go with tacky but harmless. Because it is a bit like, yeah.
It depicts Native Americans.
You say it's harmless.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there is that.
Yeah. You can go full
maybe
on
if you
offensive.
cry. You have a single tear when you say that. I better be super effective.
Yeah.
Jeez.
She's
Ramona.
kind of an edge.
Yeah, she's edgy.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Not cautious. Yeah. So back here we can see there's this big mysterious RV. We find out that the actor Tag Kern who died actually was part of a Hollywood cult. Yes, very sneaky, and he met with them hours before his death. So are they somehow involved with this? You actually get to go in and take what we call the Opto test. So it's a series of personality question tests trying to figure out, do you belong with the Church of Us or not?
Huh.
Or maybe they'll try to brainwash.
What was my affect your relationships with people?
So we just got a source from him talking about what happens with you know, the protest. So do we want to support him? Be a little more downplaying, saying, "Oh, this one guy's out front making a big stink over nothing," or we can go all inflammatory.
Well, I know you like inflammatory. We've already covered that.
I do.
So I picked the last one. So yeah, we can go inflammatory.
Excellent. So actor Tag Kern killed himself in an attack. He outmoded North Florida monument to genocide and casual racism.
Nice.
Good start.
That is a strong opening.
Yes.
Like, whoa, okay. you have an opinion. Like, you're not just reporting the news. Nice.
Exactly. And now we get to meet creepy Gordon Cordray.
Oh,
He's
good.
the local church leader.
Huh.
So you can see with some of the set design we did, we tried to keep in mind how we can transition in and out of each scene, change the lighting, and use stronger sense of color. We're also able to use this kind of cutout backdrop near the back where you can see the silhouettes of objects and imply the location, but it allows it to be a little more dramatic without having to build out all the content.
Sure. Also, you can, like I said from what you're saying, like the way you can transition, it seems like you're doing like in-game camera work as if there is a cameraman. Like, almost in the way like he's having a move and like, oh, well, how are we going to move this to here and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's got a good steady cam and the crane shot and all that. Just pulls out of his backpack.
Yeah, just fires out of there. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, it was interesting to try to figure out because you kind of embody the main character on the screen, but you're also kind of the audience at the same time.
Yeah.
So when should we start tilting towards and anticipating the next shot? We started off this game with more of a cinematic vibe, kind of like the Telltale games.
Yeah.
But, you know, it just wasn't quite clicking right. It was perfectly fine, but once we settled on the theater style, that helped us really define the rest of the game a lot more. So we always keep the back of the camera towards the audience, never spin you all the way around so you're facing back to where you would be sitting in reality. It's like you got a really good pair of binoculars.
Yeah. You've paid the pound or whatever it is, rather for the tiny little with the things.
Yeah, the glasses.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Do you want to find out if you're worthy?
Yeah, go on then. Let's do that.
All right.
We're probably going to have to wrap up soon, but we might as well find out if we're worthy or not.
Indeed. All right, so
no
right or wrong choices, right?
Okay. Out of all of those, lavender.
And the colors.
Glad I get to do a personality test while we're here. This is nice.
Let's
Okay.
learn more about our host.
133, 107. 1, because it makes me think of the Metallica song. 1. Darkness is imprisoning me.
Indeed.
That's all that I see. Absolute horror. Let's go.
Slightly disturbing. It's okay.
Everyone likes Metallica. It's fine.
Of course.
Your mother's maiden name, Smith, Pittman, Tang, or Frobisher. I'd have to go with Smith if I was picking any of those.
Yeah, it's not good for your score.
That's not good for my score.
No.
Oh no. Your father's preferred intoxicating beverage: whiskey, beer, wine, tequila, beer. Although it would actually be ale.
Oh yes, of course.
You know.
Warm and flat, right?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Walking down the street, you find a $20 bill on the ground. What do? Read. Sure.
Read
No
is
question. Yeah, like you see money on the floor. Unless I see someone around being like, "Where's my money?" I'm like, "That's mine."
Even then, you just pretend they didn't see you.
Yeah, I just see that as a sign from some sort of above power. It's like, "There's $20 for you," and I'm like, "Thanks." You wake up in your apartment to find out that you're the last of humanity. How do you feel? Lonely, empowered, supreme. Super lonely and sad. Surely.
You're a people person. Yeah, I get it.
Who would wake up and be like, yes, they're all dead. Like, that'd be the worst.
Yeah, well, apparently the Church of Us doesn't think that you're quite fit to be a member.
Please consider a more mundane, organized religion. Sure.
Womp womp.
Oh, I don't qualify.
Yeah.
This is a sad day.
You need to be a little more selfish and, aggressive.
Selfish and aggressive, and they're all over you.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It sounds like a fun church.
Indeed.
So you can get all of this right now.
It's completely available on Steam. Like I said, third episode just launched in March. We're actually running a special during PAX East that extends till Tuesday, so 50% off gets you the season pass for PC, Mac, and Linux.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
And where can people find out more information about what you guys are up to, like any future developments or anything like that?
Yeah, so you can go to kneedeepgame.com for kneedeep, prologuegames.com for our company, at Prologue Games on Twitter. Check it out.
Got the whole thing. Nice. Thank you so much for joining us,
Thanks
man. It's been a pleasure. The game looks really cool. I think I might actually get this and play it because I'm going to do that tonight.
Exactly.
Wanted a game to play tonight. I'm going to play that. That looks fun. Right. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us yet again. We'll be back. We've only got like 2 hours of PAX East left. We're going to fill those hours well, ladies and gentlemen. So stick around. We'll be back very soon here on the Indie.XSplit stage. See you in a bit. In a bit.